Hey there. Welcome back to Reddit Views, the best channel for cheating stories. Like and subscribe to the channel for more spicy stories and drop a comment for a chance to have your comment featured. Now, let's get into today's story video.
Is this cheating with the mom of my son's friend? This is a question, because I really don't know what is going on, and I'm super oblivious to these kinds of things. Also, this is not me cheating, because I'm not married, but her cheating, or just only banter, and only being nice and social. First, the backstory. I, 35M, am a divorced man. My 2 kids are with me, the oldest one is 7 years old. I'm separated from my ex for almost a year. I got the kids after we both agreed that the kids would be better if they were with me in March this year. We got divorced from fighting almost every day, and in the end I find out about a secret phone where she messages someone. There is a woman that is the mother of my oldest kids, 7M, friend. I only see her when I pick up my kids. We never speak in real life. Now, 1 month ago, my oldest boy went to their friend's house. Not uncommon, he has a few friends that sometimes come to us, and sometimes my kid goes to them. I want him to socialize, so I'm fine with that, but this friend's mom got my phone. She explained she got it from the teacher, to call me that I should come an hour later to pick him up, because they aren't finished with their homework. After that, almost every day I get either message or call about some school stuff or some other stuff from her. One time she asks if I can pick her kids up. The other time she asks what the homework is, because her son didn't write well. The other time it is something else. I see her when I pick my kids from school, but we never speak. I used to be very oblivious to all these things when I was younger, and I still didn't think about any of these things that she was interested in me. In fact, they are all messages that does have an explanation, and it would be really rude to shut her off when she asks me what the homework was of his kid. She is also married, so why would she be interested in me, right? And also I was really oblivious to the attention I got from women, and maybe still am. I really don't know these clues, etc. Now, why did I start thinking that she is interested in me? Well, last week we got the flu, my kids didn't go to school, so there was no school for us. Then starting from Tuesday, I get calls and messages, increasing each day. Now, I respond normally, not too rude, nor too friendly. I never initiate, I always get called or messaged first. I said my kids were going to come Thursday to school. She said there was a trip, yet in the morning they were still really sick, so we skipped school again and she called again, etc. Not even my own parents aren't asking that much. Now, normally I wasn't too suspicious about all these messages, but when she started messaging me even though my kid wasn't even going to school, to check how he is, etc., I am thinking that she is interested in me and not for the sake of kids. You can ask questions about it if you are not sure. I just didn't want to make a wall of text here. Now, I do like the attention that I get from her, and I would even say I do find her attractive, but she is married and I don't want to hurt their kids. At the moment she is texting me every day about random stuff. Today she commented on a WhatsApp status I shared. Yesterday she came near my house to get the box she gave to my kid a day earlier. She gave a box with cake to my kid when my kid was at their house. If this was a man, I would think that they want to be friends with me, and are bored or something. But she acts like I'm invisible in real life, and I understand that, because we do live in a very conservative society, not in USA, and is frowned upon by the people in the region where I live. So again, why is she risking all these things? What is happening? I posted this with another throwaway account, but Reddit saw this as spam somehow, so I used this account instead, and there are other things that happened after this initial post, but I will be updating if I get an actual questions and replies. Update. Then, I made an update, which I deleted after. So a summary for those who don't want to read the previous thread. I received messages from one of my son's friend's mom. First it started innocent asking about homework, but then it continued about random things. At one point she was messaging me every day and later it went to calls, never mentioning her husband, etc. Not flirtings, but just calls about life and our kids and such. Initially it was a question, whether she had other intentions than just messages, but later I knew in my gut it was more. I am a divorced man, single at the moment. She is married. So what happened after these months? First I tried to not answer her, but I succumbed and we started to talk over the phone about our kids and stuff. So 2 weeks ago I call her and say that what we are doing is not good and all. She agreed and knew what she was doing is bad, but she says she doesn't care anymore for her husband and tells me about the things her husband did and say about her. She is fed up with him, he wants to a rural area and she wants to stay and she doesn't care anymore. Now, I know she wants to burn bridges with me and I am in heavy discussion with the angel on my right shoulder and the devil on my left so to speak, and in the end I said that I have no intention in marrying her and there can be nothing between us. It was a long call and she did at one point even invite me to her home, woot woot, but I denied. And this is it. To be totally honest, I did compliment her and didn't shut her down immediately, but that's the most I did. It's not my responsibility for their marriage, yet I did tell her to stick with her husband and that she should think of their kids. I actually doubt their marriage will hold, but it will not be my doing. She called me later again asking about my kid and such, and I reminded her not to call me and she messaged me I'm sorry and I didn't respond. And that's that. Story 2. Husband cheated, it's my fault and I'm stuck here. My husband, Kyle, 35M, and I, 34F, have been together for 10 years and married 6. We have 2 young kids. After my youngest was born, 4 years ago, I had horrible postpartum depression which resulted in other mental health diagnoses as I got help through therapy. Antidepressants and other meds killed my libido, but I tried my best to be intimate with him at least once a month. Kyle immediately asked for an open relationship when I started having problems with sex. I was appalled and shut it down. Kyle brought this up multiple times. About a year ago, a new mutual friend of ours, Brittany, 33F, expressed interest in us romantically and proposed a polyamorous relationship. I declined politely because 1. I'm straight and 2. I don't think I'd be okay with seeing my husband be with another woman. A short time after this proposal, a very traumatic near-death event happened. Brittany was a shoulder for us during the aftermath, but kept bringing up her proposal and Kyle kept pushing for it as well. I'll admit I considered it. I had 2 people trying coerce me for months. They grew close and were openly flirting in front of me. I don't believe anything further than that happened. Eventually, I expressed to both of them I was not okay with this and never would be okay with it. Brittany took a step back from our friendship and we barely talked for a while. Kyle and I started arguing more. Usually our fights would end in him saying we should divorce and me begging him stay and work it out. Our last big fight, when he said this, I was done. I said fine, let's divorce. Immediately he changed his tune and said we should do therapy, like I had been asking. So we've been in therapy and I realized he treats me like a roommate slash babysitter slash maid, and that's a big reason why I'm never in the mood on top of my meds. I've told him my needs, just some attention, hold my hand, hugs, etc. Nothing has changed. A month ago Brittany started coming around again more often. We only hung out together, but she and Kyle texted often. Last week while we were hanging out she and Kyle went to the store, I declined going with. When they got back everything was fine. No one acted weird and we had a fun hangout. The next day I get a message from Brittany. She and Kyle were talking innocently in the car and he made some moves on her. Put his hand on her thigh and rubbed her breast. She says she shut it down and gave him hell about it. Now she's uncomfortable around him. I'm heartbroken. I confronted Kyle. He openly admitted to what happened. The only deviation in the story is her shutting him down. He says she never said anything like that. Apparently when she messaged me she also messaged him and told him she's now uncomfortable with what happened. I read their messages. He apologized to her, said that wasn't his intention and he took their mutual flirting too far. She said yeah he did and she can't be around him alone again. Kyle and I had a conversation about it. He apologized, said he knew he broke my boundaries and hurt me. Then we talked about it in therapy and that's been it. He's acting like everything is fine while I'm quietly seething. I at least expected some groveling. No, nothing. And I can't say, hey Kyle, you need to grovel, because then he's just doing what I said to do when he obviously thinks he doesn't need to. I feel like I should have made a bigger deal about it. Instead, I used what we learned in therapy to keep calm and talk rationally. I really wanted to go scorched earth and beat his and her asterisk. But I'm an adult, I have to be the bigger person apparently. Now I'm stuck here until I can find a job and leave, or maybe things get better and I stay. I have no idea. I'm cutting Brittany out of my life completely. I don't necessarily blame her even if she was flirting with him, but it is my fault for not going with and trusting them. He's the one who was supposed to be loyal to me above all others. I'm kind of numb to it all at this point. Sorry, this was a novel.